Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy and I'm so sorry it has been so long since I have done a video. I may or may not show you the painting I did right before this one that I'm going to do because ultimately my paints were just a mess and they were too thick and I'm not going to end up keeping it. So just fair warning, I'm very rusty. I haven't painted in a couple of months, but I sped this up. I was using some paint that had been sitting for months and was very much too thick. I'm using some Valspar something as a pillow, and it was also too thick from having been decanted for who knows how long. My normal pillow is PPG Multi Pro. This color is called Buttercup. It's a primary element from Colourarte, and it is one of my favorites to use because it's a nice frosty yellow and it adds a great pop of sparkle. That one I mixed up within the last few months, but everything else is just really old. So this is a custom color. It is mixed up from Sea Glass from Colourarte, and then I added something to it, but I don't remember what I added to it. It's a gorgeous color. It's like a nice seafoam green now, but I'm just trying to use it up. So I had no strategy. I grabbed some paints. I opened them if they had life. I threw them in if they didn't. I left them open to dry. So this wasn't super strategic. This is called Claret. This is a prism pour color from Colourarte, which again has been mixed up for probably years. I thinned it out a couple months ago, and so I was trying to use it since I already doctored it. But yeah, I was even using old cell activator, so I used some boom gel. One trick if you're using old cell activator and you just don't want to part with it because Oxyflotrol is expensive, I get it. This is called Viola Blue. It's also from Colourarte. This is a vivid, intense color. This color I would compare to like an indanthrine blue or like an indigo. It's gorgeous. Anyway, if you have cell activator that's not as fresh as you would like, but you're still wanting to get some good cells, if you will use just a smidge of boom gel underneath it, it does help. Nothing's gonna work as well as good fresh cell activator. And if you use too much boom gel, it'll eat it up. So delicate balance, right? So in this one, I think I used black cell activator with a little bit of white underneath. And it worked okay. So the other thing I did is I freshened it up with just a little bit of Oxyflotrol. I get my Oxyflotrol from Pixel Paint Designs, and that's also where I get my boom gel. I do have a discount code in the description box below. Also, I definitely recommend taking Shelly's class. I know most of you guys that watch this channel probably already have. I just, like, you can learn from other artists, but there's just something about learning from the one that developed the course. Plus the access you get to learn from other people in the group is really just invaluable. I have no idea what that color was, by the way. I wish I could remember. I just did this last night. But it was like a painting disaster day. Like, you know how when you're like so pumped to paint, and this is white boom gel. You're so pumped to paint, and then you're just like, everything I'm doing is failing. Like everything. That's how it was. That's how yesterday was. I was covered in paint. My shirt had so much paint. That's quite a bit of boom gel, by the way. And the reason why is because it's hard to squeeze them. I'm so happy that she started to add those squeeze bottle tops. But I was covered in paint. I had it all over my shirt. You'll see how hard it is for me to blow this out because of how thick the paint is. You may not be able to tell, but I can't even get those petals to go out. And then as a result, the composition is gross because sorry, that's our TV. I can't get the petals to move. You see that? So I just remember when I was cleaning up last night, like the one day I get a chance to paint and it's like an epic disaster, right? at some point I almost like went and got the resin, like, let's switch. Let's switch from painting to doing some resin work. I started a really beautiful, humongous freeform geode, and all I've done is put glass down. The glass is not even fully placed down, so I need to finish it. So you can see that like half of this bloom has some potential, and then the other half that is kind of on the left toward the bottom looks messy. So I shoved that closer to the edge to see if we can get more of our composition to be on the side that looks nicer. I hate it when we have these like ribbons of color on the edge that end up not going all the way off. It looks so messy to me. And so I'm trying to kind of strategically move some of those, even if that means I get rid of the color and go into the pillow paint. I think I would rather have that than have these like convoluted ribbons of color. So anyway, I had such a terrible time trying to get this. And I was like, I'm going to finish up this pillow paint and then I'm just going to decant some new pillow paint. And then on this, the bloom I did right after this, which was a 12-inch, I went and got the hairdryer. I was like, I can't move this with my mouth. It's too thick. And then I realized I didn't have enough pillow paint. So I ended up grabbing some Walmart satin paint, which I kind of reserve sometimes for cloud pours if I don't have the right normal mixture. And so I used 2 different pillow paints just to get enough coverage. It was just that kind of a day. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, my apologies that I've been absent. A lot of it is this was a really hectic school season for me. But then I came right out of comprehensive exams and I had to get ready for Christmas. And I just, I was doing ornaments like crazy and I wanted to film them. I did so many cute things with the laser, but honestly, I just didn't have time to take that time out and film everything. It was like I was working on multiple things at one time. It would have been so chaotic for you. You wouldn't have even wanted to watch it. But I do have some videos that I need to edit and release. Some of them are like way older, like maybe my second porch leaner. Some of them are some door hangers. I am still doing ornaments. I have a ton of them in process, and I'm going to do them all year. So I will end up doing some with you. I realized when we did get to do a little brief event that ornaments are something people are always going to be interested in. And they're very cute and very unique. But you know, I was working on Christmas presents and just all kinds of stuff. This is from Colourarte. This is a Titan Blue Light. Again, it also needed to be thinned out. I don't know why, but I omitted the buttercup in this one. And anyway, it's just, I'm going to try to do as much of that this year. I'm also trying to focus on doing some like interchangeable things so that like if you have like a particular base, you can swap out things for the season. So, you know, now that I've had the laser for almost a year, I feel like I'm getting my bearings and learning how to do different things. I also have an F1 from XTOOL and I'm learning a lot more about how to use that. This is Rouge Violet, by the way. So I hope to bring you guys a lot more diversity this year. I am having to learn that with the time crunch, I just can't film everything. And I feel bad because I know that as an artist, I love to see people's process. And as an artist, I like to be able to go back and figure out what I did myself and learn from it. So sharing with you guys also helps me. And then as a laser artist, I guess I would say, there's so many questions that I had when I first started using a laser that I would be like, surely somebody has talked about this. And, you know, some of the things that we figure out along the way really help other people. And sometimes it's just worth sharing it, even if it's like a 5-minute video. So I'm going to try to do more of that just because I know when people start using their lasers, it's confusing if you've never worked on that software and that kind of stuff. And so anyway, you can see I'm really working for this one again and still having a lot of trouble moving that paint with my breath. Now, to coach myself, I'm not pulling my head back enough to broaden my breath, but part of it was like panic because I couldn't I couldn't move fast enough without that paint trying to cave in on itself. It was really messy. And you can even see like it's at an angle in some places because it was trying to come back in before I could even go around the circle. So normally it's not a great idea to blow over where you've already blown, but in this case it was like, if you don't, it's gonna look like somebody barfed on it, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, it was a rough painting day. So if you ever feel like, why did I even bother today? Just know, like, I've been doing this for a long time already, and it happens to the best of us. And we all have sucky painting days. So yeah, but I am hoping to bring you more consistent. You know, normally I'm at least consistent to post YouTube videos. With the last couple months, I'm like, I haven't even been able to get one out. But I do have some I need to edit and get out. So just know once they finally get released that I may have recorded them months ago. But anyway, I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, Christmas, New Year with their families and loved ones. I know that we did. It's always good to get to spend time with our family. And, you know, the next semester is going to be a little wild for both my husband and myself, so things should be busy, but we're certainly trying to plan ahead. I'm also kind of hoping to be able to do some craft shows this year. It's been so insanely busy that's just like, it seems like a great idea, and then you realize how much work you have to do to prepare for it. So, but we'll see, you know. I think sometimes, and I think this is true for, look what I did. I think this is true for all of us, that we get so busy, and sometimes we need to create. Like, it actually is therapeutic and helpful for us. So look at me dripping all the paint in there. This is the kind of day I was having, guys. In the third bloom that I did after this redo, I dripped pillow paint in the center of it. Like, it was this kind of a day. You know what I mean? All right, third time. Hopefully a charm. Third time ends up being a little better, but not a lot. But what a mess, you know? There was a lot of paint murdered in the process of this painting day. It was terrible. For this one, I sped it way up just because you've already endured a lot. But, you know, I share this with you because I'm pretty committed to sharing my fails, and this is what painting is like sometimes. Sometimes we persevere. On the bright side, you can tell I'm just getting sloppy, right? But on the bright side, I emptied out a bunch of paint containers either because I used them or because they were dry and I left them open to dry out. So that's something, right? So same thing, that custom green, the Viola blue, the Claret and the Rouge violet, and sterling wax white boom gel with my lamp black cell activator, which is Engram, by the way, an Australian Floetrol. Still having a heck of a time trying to blow it out. You can see that I'm like playing a race before the paint gathers again, and I do mess up a couple places. Sorry, that's our TV. But again, I'm just trying to make it work. I'm like thinking to myself, if this doesn't work, I'm scraping this whole thing and just putting everything away. But like everything that I'm doing right now, you should not do this. You should kind of go around once in your blow and then maybe catch pockets that you didn't get. You shouldn't re-blow what you've already blown. Like, there's just so many things that were just going wrong. But I was trying to rescue it, you know? There's so much paint everywhere. I was just covered in paint. It was gross, but it was good to get to paint. So I will share a close-up with you. I do end up keeping this one. It's drying nicely. There's some things about it I don't like, but that was just kind of the way it was. So hang in with me for a close-up. Thanks for being patient and joining me on the pouring and scraping. Okay, so I think that we'll let this one live, but this part looks crazy. So if I were to display it, I would display it with that at the bottom. While my paints are old and my cell activator is old, you can see I'm getting nice cells. My paint is too thick. This is too thick. I can tell when I'm blowing it out. I'm having a really hard time moving the paint. So that's really the issue. I have all these paints in the boneyard that have dried up or been finished. So I think what I really need to do is just decant some new pillow paint, make fresh cell activator, save the older paint for big like blowout pieces where your structure doesn't have to be as good. But I really like the color palette, even though I just sort of grabbed things from the pile. You can see the really nice sparkle in that custom green. And it plays really nicely with the Claret and the Rouge Violet and the Voila Blue, which that Voila Blue, as it stretches out over that green, is really beautiful. Phthalo Blue also looks really beautiful, stretched out over like an interference green. Anyway, I'm super rusty, but I'm glad to be able to play around. This is one of my favorite parts right here. And then, of course, over here. Anyway, thanks for enduring and watching with me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.